shoulder day. So yeah, I just put a couple of light weights on this one, 10 kilos aside, and I'm just doing, I think I do 2 sets of 15 just to warm the shoulders up. From what I'm probably going to do when I weightlift now is 5 or 6 sets of each exercise, starting at a light weight with a set to warm up, unless it's the first exercise like this is today. And so you can see I'm doing a second set of 15 here. You might not see 15 sets depending on how the cameraman filmed it. 15 reps, I mean, because he starts filming late and all sorts of things. But I did 2 sets of 15 here to warm up. And then I started going heavier and just doing sets of 10. Okay, so what do we got here? Yeah, that looks like, what's on there? I can't remember what I did. I think I just put a 5 on each side then, and then did a set of 10. And then each set I go up by 5 kilos a side, I think. Yeah. So what's on there now is probably 20 a side. Just for a set of 10. And look, dumbbells are superior for shoulders, like I was saying last workout. But I do like using machines and things. They're fun. Probably the results aren't as good with a machine. I don't know what percentage, like, is it only half as good when you use a machine versus dumbbells, or is it 80% as good, or, is it really, I really don't know, but I definitely know that dumbbells are superior. But you know what, the funny thing is I actually prefer barbell bench press and barbell shoulder press than I do dumbbell ones. So I when I grew up, I always used barbells. Now, I've been convinced by Paul Taylor down on the Gold Coast that dumbbells is the superior method. Paul Taylor on the Gold Coast, he builds his own dumbbells and all that. He's a guy that sort of I've seen as a bit of a mentor. He would laugh if he knew I was using this machine here. Now, I think I only do 3 sets of 10 on this because the weight that I've got on there is quite light, and it's all I can do. I can't do it staggered and go up for 5 or 6 sets adding weight, because the truth is there's a weight that I can do, and then when I try and go heavier than that, I can't do it. So there's a weight that I can do sets of 10 or 15 at. I think it's 15 I do. I think I did 3 sets of 15 on this because I can't go heavier. It sounds funny, hey, because if I try and do a weight that I can only do a set of 10 at, I can't get the full set out, so unless that's... Maybe I'm wrong. Hang on. I didn't get to count that. Like I said, I can't get a true count because the dude filming just starts midway through and whatever. But so it's a bit ridiculous. I can't remember what I just did. Now, what I did here is I started sticking my arm out because I sort of... I saw someone personal training somebody on maths the other night, the cheating couple on Married at First Sight. And he was getting her to do one-armed lateral raises, but he had her look at how lazy that arm is. So that's probably cheating. I should have lift it up. There we go. I think if you lift it up, it makes you work that other one properly. The other thing with this machine too is that so I decided I'd do sets of 3 on the standing one as well. So all up, I did 6 sets of either 10 or 15, I'm not sure. I think I did 10 on this machine. Yeah. But what the thing is on that other one is that I rest, you bring it down and you're tempted to rest between sets and take the tension off. But this one's pretty cool because if the tension stays on even if you go low in the shoulders. So it's pretty hard to bludge with this machine. But look, I probably should have just been doing these with dumbbells. But the machines are fun and whatever. So, so it just keeps you motivated to keep doing workouts. I actually smashed it today. My shoulders, like as I'm talking to you now, my shoulders are just smashed. And when I walked out of the place, I was so full of blood. It was a really nice feeling when I walked out of there, having all that blood in the. After the shoulders, so there's your rear delts. So with these ones, I explained before, I use it like a marionette. Like you lift through the elbows, your hands are just hooks holding onto it, and that's how you hit the rear delts. And also, this is the one where you don't have you keep a neutral spine down the bottom, but up the top there you can see my posture is bad. That's actually a good thing. And then each time I go down the bottom, I try and deliberately stop for a second and get my arms to hang more. So hang, hang them, because you want them you want your delts to engage and kick in, and they're really. I was exhausted, and in between sets of this, I kept having to go over and stand in front of the fan because my body heat was going up a lot. Because when I do rear delts, they're muscles that you don't really use a lot in real life and things like that. So I get exhausted training them. Like rear delts exhaust me. I don't know if you've ever had an injury and you've had to rebuild. So this guy doing arm curls, he saw where I was doing these rear delts. He saw my towel and everything, and then he went and stood where I was doing my rear delts and commandeered the area. I was pretty fucking annoyed, honestly. When guys do that stuff, they see you using... So I'm back at my spot now because he's over there using the... he's doing arm curls, I think, or something in that corner. So you can see that's where I was doing my rear delts, and he was sitting watching me do them from the machine that he was on. He was doing triceps on a machine, then coming and doing biceps here. But like I said, the first set of biceps that he came and did, and I think he only did the one, he came over and fucking commandeered the area where he knew I was bloody working out. Territorial bullshit. Okay, now... This is incline chest. I like this because you get a pump in the chest. It's through the shoulders as well. I use a lighter weight and I get reps out. That's how I usually do this one and get the pump. I've gone a bit heavier there and I'll do less reps here, but you'll see at the end I drop it off and go back to doing as many as I can. But I think by then my shoulders and chest are burnt out so much that even with a lightweight, I don't get all that many reps out. So I do a second set. This is only 20 kilos, but at the moment that is actually heavy for me because I'm not as strong at the moment because I've only been back in the gym a few weeks. But I'm exhausted at this point of the workout, actually. No, so I do 3 sets at 20, it looks like. That's it, you beast. Sexy beast. All right. So I get the 10 out. Do I drop it and go light and do a set? Yes, I do. So I just put the 10s on, and in my head I was going to do 25, but I think I just do 10 or 15. I just bloody gas out like I reach failure. Yeah. And then after this, it should just be shrugs. I think I hadn't done shrugs yet. Yeah. Now what I did today is I used the shrug machine, the squat lunge shrug machine, instead of dumbbells. I actually do really like this because I get a nice clean shrug this way, and I like it how when you grab the handles, your hands are sort of a little bit further out. I hope he films the mirror and we can see it. But, with the dumbbells, they're hanging right by my side and they sort of drag up and down the side of my leg. But with this, I've got that, and I feel I can get a little bit higher. And also, I don't seem to get any, when I use the shrug machine like this, I don't tend to get any neck pain or anything like that. Like I do love the shrug machine, So, look, Paul Taylor and other purists will tell you all these machines are a bad idea, but I was enjoying using the machine today. I'm so exhausted there. I'm really... That's not necessarily a great shrug, is it? I'm not getting very high. But yeah, so I always like to do I think I did 4 or 5 sets of 10 on the sit-up machine today. As I like, even though you can see my belly's not flat, But I do like having that strength in the stomach, when you get in and out of bed or when you're doing exercises and you engage your core. I like it when your stomach just sort of automatically kicks in because you've been doing sit-ups each day. So I do like to do the sit-up machine every single day. And in between sit-up sets and everything, I start my stretching. So that's my lats. I'm stretching my lats there. I do 2 sets of 25 seconds or 30 seconds is what I did. And, you sort of didn't film the whole 30 seconds because probably you got bored. And then, back to the sit-up machine. Yeah, I really like these. I tell you what, I used another sit-up machine too. I think the brand may have been Hellstream or something like that. I used one down at the Caboolture pool, King Street pool, the other day, a sit-up machine. And it felt really nice. Like these, I like sit-up machines. Kind of crazy, hey, you can just get on the ground and sit up. You don't need a $5,000 or $10,000 machine to do sit-ups, but I do like them. This one here does your lower and upper abs at the same time. But the one at Caboolture, it was kind of as you used it, it was, I don't know how to explain it. This one's fairly fixed in a way. The one at Caboolture was kind of stretchy as well. So as you came forward, the machine stretched up with you as well. And I don't know, it was a really nice feeling as well. So I like that machine too. So what am I doing here? I'm stretching my, I like to hang my foot on these safety rails and do my thigh. What do they call those? Quads. Quads. Yeah, I like it. You get a really deep stretch doing your quads this way. Like I really do like hang it there. And then, I bend the leg that I'm standing on, I bend it to get deeper in it. And what I do too is I sort of lean into it, and I try and have my hips square and whatever, but I also sort of push with my foot down. I learned that from my mum. She used to coach gymnasts. And when gymnasts stretch, like even with this shoulder one I'm doing, I've grabbed the pole and I'm stretching and everything, but I'm actually pulling as well. So, and resisting, do you know what I mean? Like, so you don't just stretch. How do I explain this? You don't just pull with the stretch, you pull with your hand as well, so that you are engaging everything. I don't know how to explain that one really well, but you resist with your actual muscle as well, and that gets you a deeper stretch. So, like when I do hamstrings, I'm not just bending down and getting a stretch. I flex my toe and I push down with my foot into the thing that I've got it up on. Like I put it up on a bench or something and I push down with that as well. So you resist as well as that to get a deeper stretch and whatever. So, but I like grabbing the pole and doing my shoulders like this instead of just pushing it with my hand on my arm, because I just really feel it across my shoulder and then across everywhere, in the back too. And it just, the shoulder gets really deep. So, so with here, I don't stay here because that bar starts to wobble and it annoys me. So I end up going to a fixed thing because those safety rails are, they're not fixed, they're adjustable and everything. So see how it moved? And I went, piss off, I don't like that. So I've gone to a fixed bench. So now, what I'm trying to say is I've got my foot up there and I'm bending the leg that I'm standing on to get deeper into the stretch. I'm also flexing the toe and I'm also pushing my foot down into the bench, driving it in to get more stretch. Yeah, so it's about resisting and pushing and things as you stretch as well, I believe. And like I said, I got that from my mum who does a gymnast. But I stretch gently into it and I don't stretch too hard. Oh, this hip stretch is amazing. And on this bench, you'll see when I switch over, I think I pointed out to him, so I hope he films it. There's actually spotting platforms each side of this bench. So when I'm in it, you can actually put your foot up on the spotting bench and it's half the height of the bench. So I can get really deep with the hip stretch. Now, when you do these hip stretches, I'm tucking my ass under. I'm tucking it in as far as I can to get into the hip. Yes. Oh no, he didn't film the other sets that I did. So, but you can see that red thing where my foot is. That's a spotting platform. So that's where I was putting my foot when I was doing that. This is a glute stretch, and I find these pretty hard glute stretches. But I'm trying to stretch my glute and down the side of my leg, and I'm also trying to hit the ITB as well and everything. I don't know. Because of my guard, I can't do ones on the floor or anything else. But anyway, I'm getting in there, so who cares? It's getting it done. I'm getting her done. And then I do a nice groin stretch. And let me tell you, as the weeks go on, these groin stretches are getting better and better. The first week, it's a sort of, I don't know how to explain it, but I felt like it was all locked up and just clicking and rah-rah. But now I'm starting to be able to stretch, and it gets deep into the stretch and feels marvellous. All right, now this is up at the shops, Baringa Shops, SG Bakery, Banh Mi.